I'm Ashley Esqueda, and you're watching CNET's live coverage of CES 2021. I'm here in my office in sunny Southern California. We've got Ayaz Akhtar in his villain's lair, his volcano villain's lair in New York City. And we also have a guest today. We're really excited to welcome Jason Banta, AMD's Corporate Vice President and General Manager, Client OEM, to talk with us about the AMD keynote that we saw earlier this morning. Hi, Ayaz, and hi, Jason.
Hello.
Hi, Ashley. Hi, Ayaz. Thank you for having me on. Obviously, a very different CES this year. So, but thank you for bringing me on to talk about everything we're doing at CES this year.
And everything AMD is doing at CES is quite a bit. If somebody maybe missed the keynote earlier today or hasn't gotten a chance to keep up or catch up with the news, can you sort of get us up to speed on what they might have missed?
Yeah, so it was a very big announcement. I think, to put it mildly, Lisa just finished her keynote to the worldwide audience here at CES. Big moment in mobile computing. I think that was the big piece of what she announced. The Ryzen 5000 mobile, really upping the game. That builds upon the success of what we did with Ryzen 4000 series of processors, bringing in the all-new Zen 3 core, which is higher performance, richer experiences, longer battery life, really everything you're looking for in a notebook. Ryzen 4000 was welcomed with open arms by AMD fans, and a lot of people who were unfamiliar with Ryzen. So, taking that to the next level with Ryzen 5000, disrupting that space even further, was a big part of this announcement. So, normally we have to wait 6 months between a new core in desktop and a new core in mobile. But we really doubled down our efforts. Real testament to our engineering team to roll out Zen 3 in the mobile space with Ryzen 5000. So again, speaks to the creativity of overall engineering team. Really the highlight of that from a product perspective was the Ryzen 9 5980HX. Quite simply, the fastest mobile processor in the world. 8 cores, 20 megs of cache, 4.8 gig boost. Phenomenal overall product. Really outclassing the competition, and bringing a reason to upgrade into the high performance notebook space.
Jason, I definitely feel like I need to upgrade my machine this year now, after having seen all of the different processors and graphics cards, everything that pretty much everybody is launching and announcing at CES this year. Is super appealing to me as somebody who hasn't built a computer in a few years. But I know that Ayaz and I were really surprised to see some of the partnerships you guys had. Ayaz, do you want to talk a little bit about what we saw and who we saw and why it's interesting?
Sure thing. I mean, this keynote looked like I'm just going to say it kind of looked like an old Intel one, because AMD has some amazing partners. I saw HP out there. I saw Lenovo out there. I saw the Mercedes F1 Formula Racing team up there. And I think what was the most conspicuous was Panos Panay from Microsoft hanging out with you guys at AMD. Jason, can you tell us a bit about getting AMD pretty much everywhere with all these partnerships?
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. A lot of great partnerships at this keynote, and a lot of great partnerships leading to these products. I mean, our products are really nothing without having those great partners to bring the full solution around what we're bringing from a product perspective. So you saw the partnership with HP, Lenovo. You saw the Mercedes partnership with Lewis and Toto in there. ILM, we talked about all those partnerships. Microsoft, of course. Panos, driving so much innovation in the PC space, as well as what we're partnering on the Xbox side of the house, stepping up that level of game console performance. So a lot of great partnership has come into play, and in addition to those partners, a lot of OEMs have worked with us on this Ryzen 5000. You saw that we're releasing about a 50% increase in notebooks this year with our partners. 2x the number of gaming notebooks year on year compared to Ryzen 4000 series. It's a great partnership across the board. That's really what it takes, and building those relationships is fundamental to what we do. Again, those they make our products great, we make their products great, and that's what AMD is about.
All these partnerships,
you mentioned. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Ayaz.
Thank you. With all the partnerships you have, they all seem to have very different needs. You're talking about climate, looking at climate change and actually modeling that stuff. You're talking about wind tunnels for these cars. You're talking about high performance gaming. How is AMD staying focused when it comes to meeting all the demands of all these various companies?
It's our goal remains to solve big problems. Whether it's climate change or what you heard Lisa talk about with COVID-19, everything we're doing on that effort. We want to solve the big problems, and that does require focus. We have to be choosy. We have to select what we want to do. But I think you heard it well in the in the partnership segments. More computing, more compute capability is always needed. That's always an ask out there from scientists, from developers, from meteorologists. No matter who is solving a problem, more compute makes that happen faster, solves the more complex problems. And so we're always aimed at giving that capability to those audiences and working with them hand in hand to understand their problems. So we do have to be a little choosy in what problems we solve, but again, we're trying to solve those big problems and making sure that whether it's Ryzen, Radeon, EPYC, we offer the resources to those folks to solve those big problems.
That's awesome. So one of the partnerships that you mentioned, I'm hoping that you're maybe able to go in a little more depth and speak to this one particular partnership is ILM and AMD are working together. I know that if, as Ayaz and I have talked about earlier today, if anybody has watched The Mandalorian knows that most of that show is shot in a large scale LED set called The Volume. And I'm really curious how that partnership came to be, and also what plans are you able to share with us about that partnership?
So the ILM partnership. I mean, I'll try to avoid any Mandalorian spoilers during my response. The ILM partnership that is absolutely at the I think it's a great example of what we're doing with our partners. I mean, you look at the heritage of a development house like ILM. Obviously, the Star Wars heritage is phenomenal. We partnered with that team to deliver both our EPYC solutions, our Threadripper solutions on the workstation side. Whether it's on the server side, workstations. Being able to render and develop richer experiences, richer visuals. Not being able to tell the difference between visual effects and reality is what we're looking to enable them to do for their audiences. And so it's really a great testament to what we're able to enable with that compute. You talk about the volume. First of all, I want one of those things in my backyard. That's about the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's just cool. But being able to enable something that just even for the actors involved in the production, the blending of visual, virtual, and real. It makes it that much more immersive for somebody who's tuning into The Mandalorian and trying to take in that experience and really getting sucked into the story.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. There was a clip in particular on the making of where they said, "Oh, we need to adjust the point of light where the sun would be coming from or a star would be coming from." And there's someone with, they've got their computer right there and they just go boop, boop, boop. And then all of a sudden it looks like the entire time of day just changes in the set, in the volume. And it's just amazing.
He wanted to add a mountain in the background. He's like, done.
Boom.
amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's such an amazing testament to the power of computing that companies like AMD are providing to the entertainment industry. And I really applaud you guys for pushing into that space because, obviously tech and the entertainment industry really go hand in hand a lot of times.
Absolutely, absolutely, and I think that that partnership is going to keep growing, and as those visuals become more important in that industry, we're going to be there to deliver best in class solutions.
Nice.
Speaking of
You had
pushing,
some phone questions, did you not?
I do. Yeah, speaking of pushing into spaces, I'm really curious because AMD is doing some great work. They're getting their Ryzen 5000. You guys are getting your Ryzen 5000 in ultra thin PCs, which requires a bit of engineering. Any idea if and when AMD will end up powering a smartphone of some kind, smaller devices than these ultra thins? Because I'm sure people might really love the idea of a Ryzen powered phone.
Yeah, it's a very compelling idea. You saw Lisa announce with the Ryzen 5000 mobile and notebooks, 17 and a half hours of general usage playback, 21 hours of video playback. I mean, we are delivering high performance, low power solutions that are truly efficient, built on our 7 nanometer tech. Being able to offer that, shows that we can go into that low power space, and just allow people to work longer, play longer, consume content longer. So we have a great push into that space. The handset market, it's not really our focus at this time. As you can see, we're aggressively going after the high performance space and server, PC, workstation, performance graphics. Those efforts require a ton of focus. They require a ton of focus to develop the solution, but also to get it right with our partners, really at the experience level. And companies that get too split on their focus, get too divided, they run into issues. So right now we're staying focused in that high performance space. Low power cores, low power graphics. It's definitely in our wheelhouse. It's something we can do, but we want to build it right. We want to stay focused right now. Upping the ante, upping the bar in the high performance solution space is really our focus right now. Making those customers, those end users even happier. We want to stay there for now, and who knows what the future holds.
Okay, so you mentioned the word efforts, and I have one more question for you, and I think it's one that a lot of people are asking. Speaking of effort, I have been trying very hard to get my hands on a very nice Radeon graphics card, and I cannot do it, my friend. I cannot do it. Can you talk a little bit to the challenges AMD and the rest of the industry, I'm sure, has faced bringing these things to market? I know there has been a very strong demand for new graphics cards across the board in 2020, and how AMD maybe plans to tackle that, or what the plans are to sort of up that inventory so that people can start really getting their hands on some of the products that you guys are making right now.
Yes, so it's a great question. It's a question I've definitely received a few times. So it is, as you pointed out, it is industry wide. There's been a dramatic increase in demand. Some of that related to the COVID, and some of that related to the supply chain issues that have resulted as part of COVID. Just worldwide, industry wide. First of all, I'll clarify that our manufacturing capability of shipping products has never been more robust. Our fab partnerships, component partnerships are very healthy. We're yielding our products well in production. But COVID-19 has resulted in a clear, unarguable increase in PC demand, graphics demand, CPU demand, and pretty much every market analysis source has increased their forecasts, their actuals for 2020, their forecasts for 2021, and we've worked to bring additional capacity online to address these needs. But to your point, it is very much industry wide. Many components across the entire spectrum are facing this challenge. So, supply problems, no. Unexpected demand, yes. But we are, for folks that are wanting to get their hand on a new graphics card, a new CPU, first of all, we say thank you for being an AMD fan. and going out there and looking for our products, whether it's CPU, graphics card, or a new console. And we're doing everything in our power to increase our output, increase our capacity to address that. So it's we know a lot of folks are out there dying to get an upgrade. They want a new CPU, want a new graphics card. And the AMD team, I spend a lot of time on this every day. I know, the full team spends a lot of time on this, making sure that this is a priority. We can address this, and we get more of these, more of this great technology in people's hands.
Makes sense. I'll try to be patient. I just really want to get my hands on some new computer. I got to build a new computer this year. I'm gonna go crazy if I don't.
Yeah. I want a lot of people in 2021 to build new PCs. So a little more patience, please, and we'll come through.